The other players, and I've covered other tennis tournaments, a lot of other sports, usually athletes are, you're asking the question, they're scrolling through their phones, they're looking at Instagram, they're not paying attention to you. Roger, you ask him a question, through the entire time while you're asking the question and while he's answering, he's making eye contact with you and listening to you. He's incredibly, he shows you respect. And even though you're basically a nobody and he's someone super important, he doesn't make you feel like that. And the way I wanted to end things up here was he won this tournament, and it was his 10th time winning the tournament. And this tournament, even though it's a small tournament, it's not Wimbledon or anything like that, it's super special to him because he was a ball boy at this tournament and he was a little boy. And it's 5 minutes from his house, and his mother Lynette was a volunteer at the tournament for years. So this tournament is really his favorite. Other than Wimbledon, it's really his favorite tournament. And when he went to give his speech, you know, he played so well that week that he barely broke a sweat. He killed everybody, so it was almost anticlimactic. I loved it, but there was no drama. Until they gave him that trophy, he went to go give his speech, and he broke down crying. And I thought, here we go again. And it's Roger. It's Roger. And at first I thought, I don't believe it. It's an ATP 500 event. It's not a big event, right? By standards, it's not Wimbledon. It should win U.S. Open. He just started sobbing. He really started crying, and it really hit me afterwards. I knew what I wanted to ask him after the match. Why did you cry? What made you break down in tears like that? And that was exactly what I asked him. And his answer was so heartfelt. He spent probably 5 minutes answering me, and I'm not going to tell you everything he said. It's in my book, but he talked about as you get older, you really start to feel more gratitude. You feel more appreciative of everything. And he said, even though I've won so many tournaments, he said, I don't come into a tournament like this thinking I'm going to win this tournament. I take nothing for granted, he said. He said, as I get older, he said, I'm about to turn 40 soon. He said, I appreciate everything. I feel grateful for everything. And it took me a while for all this to sink in, but I realized that it meant something to me too, about gratitude and being appreciative. And I felt like that is an incredible lesson really for all of us who are tennis players, that you cannot take anything for granted. I thought that I'd be able to play tennis my whole life, from birth until grade. And then I couldn't play for periods of years. And now I can play again. And it's like when I'm out here some days playing really poorly and I'm mad at myself and thinking, man, I suck. Maybe I should give up. You got to remind yourself. You got to be grateful. You got to be appreciative. Because any day you could wake up and have some illness. You could blow your knee out. You could get sick. And I feel like Roger, even though he's won so much, he appreciates that. He appreciates his success. And I feel like all of us can really appreciate that. Be appreciative that you can play tennis. So every day you're out here playing, even if you're not playing great, I feel like you can feel grateful that you're healthy enough to do it and just be happy that you can enjoy the sport. So I felt like going on this pilgrimage, it gave me sort of a new just appreciation for tennis and how much the sport really means to me. And I guess that's all I want to say. So whatever questions you guys have, please.